I was abducted when I was 16 years old. It was a Wednesday night. The rebels put a landmine at my mother's door. As we were crossing the road, I heard an explosion. It was my mother who was coming out of the house and was blown up. What really lingers in my mind is forced sex. To become a wife to an elderly man, a man who was older than you, and yet I was still very young. I was beaten unconscious because I refused to have sex with that man. I thought of escaping, and I tried really hard with some friends, but we were caught, and the friend was brought in front of us. She was killed right then and there. I was abducted when I was 17. I was abducted when I was 16. When I was 14, 15, 14, 13. I was abducted when I was 10 years old.
I'm the editor-in-chief of Glamour magazine, and I've come here to northern Uganda to find out more about an issue that until recently I knew next to nothing about. The fact that around the world, hundreds of thousands of children are being kidnapped and forced to serve as child soldiers. This is an area that has been called one of the world's worst neglected humanitarian crises. That's according to the UN. And one of the reasons is because so many children have been forced to fight.
I was abducted when I was 11 years, so I stayed in captivity 8 years.
The problems for child soldiers are intense, so when I heard about the work of Empowering Hands, I knew I had to meet these women. Jennifer, Millie, Nighty, and Sarah are 4 women, all former child soldiers, who were kidnapped and forced to serve with the Lord's Resistance Army here. They did all manage to escape, and later they decided to start a group, Empowering Hands, that would help former child soldiers who are trying to become part of peaceful society again.
When I returned home, my mother and father rejected me. They told the rest of the family not even to give us drinking water. I was scared to death. I was afraid what she'd been doing in the bush she would do to us. I wouldn't sleep in the same room with her because I was afraid she would wake up and beat me to death. We were treated as half-human beings. People didn't want to talk to us. But eventually, when we started Empowering Hands, these people's attitudes started to change. We saw people could come to us. We would talk to them.
These are children who have been kidnapped from their own homes, sometimes from their own beds, at ages as young as 7 and 8, and forced to take up arms and commit some of the most gruesome acts you can imagine. Without folding these people back into the fabric of this civilization and others around the world, there is no way to lasting peace. Empowering Hands offers counseling, it offers therapy, it uses techniques like music and dance to help children come to terms with what they've gone through. It also helps educate them.
I would think about going back to the bush when I was being alienated. But eventually, when Empowering Hands came in, I found I had changed. It was through the Empowering Hands counseling that we parents came to believe that our children were indeed changing. Gradually, I started to accept my daughter's children, too.
So to begin a new life was something so difficult for me. And if I'm to compare, at least with now, there is great change.
About 300,000 children around the world are currently being forced to serve as soldiers. We know that Empowering Hands has counseled at least 1,000 of such former soldiers. It's a small step, but it's such an important step toward peace. And I'm honored that Glamour is able to celebrate these women's work. So we've started the Woman of the Year Fund, an initiative designed to get your contributions, no matter how small, $1, $2, $5, to Empowering Hands. When you ask them why they call the group Empowering Hands, they give you a simple answer. They tell you it's because empowering is what women do best.